Yeah,
They do it all the time.
absolutely.
What you've watched on film, like where's the biggest challenges with how they run the football and then the play action threat off the
Yeah, I think that the people of Nebraska will recognize this Iowa team. It looks like all the other Iowa teams for a long time. Big offensive line, physical offensive line, big physical, a large group of tight ends and fullbacks, a couple of backs they can bring at you. A little different running style each guy, but 200 to 210 or 15 pounders. Quarterback that drives it, pro style guy that really fits nicely in their system. It's kind of a carbon copy stamp over the course of the last at least 19 years. That coach has been there. So that's the tail of the tape. Not a lot of plays. The plays that they do, they run well. They run really well. So, they can fit, and part of that is being able to fit what you do into whatever the defense does. So you see, as you study, you're watching different systems and different ways to play, whether it's 4 down or 3 down or coverage or pressure, and they seem to find the dent or the crack and the crease. At least they have. Oh yeah, sure. As a player, you know the coaches that, especially if they were there and part of the family, and then they go off and they're in the NFL. So coach was in the NFL at that time. So surely you're constantly thinking about your opportunity or guy to meet or guy to say hello to, as a player, and then obviously as a coach. For him to go back and do what he's been able to do has just been awesome. He's a great coach. They have a great program, and then we spoke a few times just based on the alma mater switch, right? So I was working at his alma mater, and vice versa. So that was kind of neat for the last few years.
Hey, Coach, after the Penn State game, you said you were optimistic about a quick turnaround for the defense.
Yeah.
What are 2 or 3 reasons for your optimism?
That's a great question. I would say that if you turn it upside down, so you had a chance to see even last weekend, a unit relax. And even just a small, less level of focus and energy, it doesn't correlate directly to the production. It went bottom out. And it was like they couldn't stop our group, right? You watched it. So with just a slight lack of focus, a slight dip in energy, a slight something less than everything you have on defense, the bottom falls out. It doesn't go down a little bit in correlation. It becomes very hard to do the work. So my point is that this defense is going to be great. And when you think about the future, just on defense, how much production, and they'll be missed, but how much production is gone and how much is back. So there's been a massive amount of reps poured on a ton of young players, and they're learning how to play, and they're talented enough, and they're smart enough, and eventually they're going to be strong enough. Eventually they're going to be fundamentally sound enough. Eventually they'll be deeply entrenched in a system and understand it with great detail.
Then the bottom doesn't fall out as much like that.
No, my point is that there isn't much difference between, in college football, there isn't much difference between what might look like a disaster and what looks great. So you watched Ohio State play great football, and then Iowa hung 55 points on them. You can see, you watched a team last weekend play defense for 3 hours, and then you watch them play for the 45 minutes, and it didn't look anything like the other 3 hours. My point is, it won't take much more to get this organization, because of its greatness, because of the place that this is. This is a very special football place. It's very special fans, very special supporters, very special infrastructure, very special interest nationally, and there's just a few small things. A few. There's not one. There's not two. There's more than that. There's more than that. When I'm talking about defending. So let me be clear. I'm talking about defending. There are things that need to happen, but they will happen, and as soon as that clicks up, even just a little bit, you're going to see the kind of defense you want to see.
How important? Have you FaceTime you ever played against the coach?
No.
First time.
No.
What's that going to be like?
The first time, yeah. And I haven't even had an opportunity to go back there. The last time I was in the stadium or with the team and around the team was, I think, 97, maybe 98 was the last time. It's for me personally. What's it going to be like? It's the seniors. It's the Nebraska football team. It's the Nebraska football players. I have no other energy really left for any other feeling or emotion or anything other than
Seeing the helmet's got to evoke some things.
really game opponent, rival, just an exciting atmosphere in the stadium. Our seniors here at Nebraska, having them go out the right way with class and pride and the production. So that's all I'm personally focused on.
One of the seniors, Chris Webber, how much has he meant for you? He's a pretty smart guy. Just as far as translating what you're doing in the film room, in the meeting room, onto the field and getting everybody else to where you're supposed to be.
Listen, I can't say enough things about Chris Webber. He is such a special man. He's going to serve as a leader in whatever organization he joins, whether it's continuing in the business world or in football or in service. He is such a special guy. All top charts intangibles and top charts tangibles. Very smart, very tough, very caring, big heart, can see the big picture, artful communicator. Just a special guy, and I'm gonna miss being around him for sure.
Coach, you mentioned Iowa as a rival. What have you gathered from the players and the fans here about that game as a rivalry?
I'm new to it, so I don't mean to punt or ping pong it back to you, but when you're out and about and based on how the games have gone the last few years, I think it's a very important game for Nebraska, our players, our team, and the people of Nebraska. It seems like it. Thanks, everybody.